Hello, welcome to number 10 in our videos. The main theme of this week that I wanted to talk about was something that was specific to my anxiety, but also is very, very common within women. I think about a year into my journey, the first kind of symptoms, the physical symptoms that I was having with my anxiety had a lot to do with my bladder. I was going to the bathroom all the time. And it just kind of started suddenly. It wasn't a gradual thing. And we did lots and lots of investigations and lots of wrong diagnosis and medication and all sorts, which sometimes helped and sometimes made things worse. But about a year into investigations into this, I went to see I was referred by my doctor. I went to see a physical therapist, and she was a women's health physical therapist. And it was at the women's hospital. And she basically examined all the muscles in my pelvis. So we're talking all here. And she noticed, she said, "You're very, very tight down there. All your muscles are very tight." And she said that can be a massive cause in basically wanting to go to the bathroom all the time. Now, you also go to the bathroom a lot when you're anxious, especially when your body is super anxious, like panic attack mode. Your body produces all those chemicals and it just seems to kind of want to empty itself of everything, which is why sometimes, like if you're in a situation where you're nervous, like you're in a play or you've got a performance, the first thing you want to do is go to the bathroom. So it's like that, but on a greater scale. But she said, "I want you to do some breathing exercises where you're, instead of using your chest and your lungs to breathe in and out, you're using your diaphragm." So I just sit up, lower down here. So I'm using all the muscles here. So she said, "I want you to go home and practice diaphragmatic breathing." And she diagnosed me with something called hypertonic pelvic floor, which basically means it's too tight. Sometimes it's too loose and you go to the bathroom a lot. Sometimes it's too tight. And the tightness meant that when I would go to the bathroom, I wouldn't empty my bladder completely. I would think it was empty, but because I was so tight and stressed and not relaxed, it wasn't emptying all the way. So there was still fluid water left in there, so that I would then have to go again within the next half hour, things like that. Now, not everybody has this situation, but most people who are anxious, they will have a symptom where they carry physically, along with all the other physical things that happen, you carry your stress physically within your pelvis, your whole pelvic floor. Now, the pelvic floor isn't just, if I stand up to kind of, pelvic floor isn't just here, okay? Your pelvic floor also means the muscles sometimes in your back, in your glutes here. It means on the inside here and your groin muscles, sometimes even your thighs. But it's that whole area. It's kind of the whole middle of your body. They call this sometimes in yoga and things like that, the sacral chakra. So what I did when I went home was I investigated more into this, but also into relaxing that whole area with not just diaphragmatic breathing. I was thinking, I want to calm this down quick. I want a faster solution. So I came across a lady on the internet who knows everything and anything about the pelvic floor. Also things like any condition that goes with your bladder or your pelvis or that whole area before birth, after birth, things as you get older that go wrong with that whole area, even sexual dysfunction. She just goes into all of it. So I'm going to put a link onto her, and she's even somebody that the physical therapist recommended to me. But they did studies of women, particularly women, can happen with men too, but particularly women watching really stressful, sometimes horror, thriller, mystery movies. And they investigated where those women were holding their stress, and it was all in the pelvis. So when you're if you notice, if you're watching a movie that's really intense, you will tense your stomach muscles, waiting for what's coming next. So the first thing to do is to be conscious of the fact where you holding your stress, and I guarantee most of us are holding it within our pelvic floor. And so another way to physically reduce the symptoms of anxiety, the things that anxiety causes, it can't change your mind, but the physical things that come along with that, is to practice pelvic floor relaxation or pelvic tension release. So I'm going to put a link to her channel on. There's a talk that she gives about why it's so connected with stress and anxiety that's really, really interesting. But then also there's so many things on there. You might have other conditions apart from a tight pelvic floor that you're looking for help with, release with. This one is she's just perfect for anything and everything to do with that whole area of the body. So I'll put on one of my favorite like relaxation workouts. Sometimes I used to do them before bed as well. And if those that have done yoga, you'll realize that most of the moves that she does are yogic moves. And so the people who invented yoga knew exactly what they were talking about. They knew that tension needed to be released there. And then I will also put a link onto the talk that she gives about how your mental health is linked to your pelvic floor. So hopefully you will learn something from that, and you can take that in and realize it may just be 10-15 minutes as you're watching TV at night, or if you're watching something on the computer. Just sit and you get to the point where you remember these exercises, you can just repeat them as you're doing something else. It doesn't take much at all. But it will really make a difference if you have a lot of muscle pain, even things like pain from endometriosis, period pains, all sorts. She can help with that. So have a good look at that, explore it. There's even things on there for men. So if there's any men in the group, I know there's a couple, then go ahead and look at that too. And hopefully you have a good week.